the script, from the chorus to the stage, real legends don't quit. Revolutionary soul, every line's legit. He's a human encyclopedia with intent to solve problems. Skid Row and military roots, yet he's still humble. Salute to Melvin Ishmael Johnson.
Raised in the South, 47 he came. Coleman High grad, built his name through pain. Marine Corps March in 69, no shame. Served with honor, then the world knew his flame. Eastern mixed studies, then he sparked a plan. 73 Epsi, Renaissance began. Wrote with Daryl, Josh, and Robert too. Black stage blazing with a rebel crew. From 17th Reed to the 80 wave. Tater ran deep like a soldier's grave. Now drama stage comer and he directing the truth. God and veteran stories from the pain of youth. From Catch the Tiger to Surviving a Nickel. His pen draw blood, every line gonna tickle.
That rep and a soldier too, turning trauma into fire with a rider's view. From the barracks to the stage, yeah, he paid his dues. Now the streets chant his name when they search for truth. He's a human encyclopedia with intent to solve problems. Skid Row and military roots, yet he's still humble. Salute to Melvin Ishmael Johnson.
Broke loyalty oath with that bold mind spark. Nail heads hit like a pit in the dark. The emperor's last brought the kingdom down, while #1 recruit wore the battle crown. With Judah Bowman, he birthed the 101. And Shoe Fitz told how to silence one. Made anti-violence groups for the vets in need. Conflict resolution, planting peace like seeds. Then he dropped 3 more for the soldiers fight. Nobody told us keeping trauma in sight. The hero within, yet a struggle ain't slight. And soldier, the soldier sheds tears in the night. He acting direct, yeah, he do it all. Played Lennox and Dunbar, standing tall.
He ain't just writing, he be changing lives. Put the pain on the page, now the spirit survive. Every stage, every line, you can hear the cry. From the Delta to LA, he forever rise. He's a human encyclopedia with intent to solve problems. Skid Row and military roots, yet he's still humble.
Yeah, and you mentioned Skid Row earlier, and I know me and you both are familiar with Skid Row, and I was going to ask you, what do you think is the key to changing the dynamics of Skid Row?
The key to me in changing the dynamics of Skid Row, when I look and I think about some of the potential leaders, community activists that we lost down there, you know, like General Jeff and Kevin Michael Key, etc. Windell Blassingame, he just passed recently, and a few others. And it made me think that what we should start doing now in that Skid Row area, we just had an election where they voted De Leon out and the other young lady come in to take over the district, and that's District 14, I think it is.
Right.
But what we should be doing, and we should start doing it now, you know, we should be grooming, you know, because we know the next election coming up next couple of years, 4 years or whatever, but we should be picking out potential community leaders that we can groom, you know, and run them for the council seat coming up. So you running them, develop a platform, how we want Skid Row to look, and run them. We should have 2 or 3 people down there that we're grooming to take over that seat. And at the same time, we're doing voter registration education with the community residents down there, try to figure out a way how we can translate a lot of the tent dwellers, you know, down there in Skid Row to voters, you know, to educating them, how making them aware of the process, you know, and I think we should start doing that immediately. Male or female, we should look for these potentially skilled individuals down there. I don't care where they come from, whether they're part of the service providers or the community activists or whatever like that. We should have 2 or 3 of them. And then at the same time, we should try to continue what General Jeff and Kevin McAkee was doing by being, and Windell Blassingame by being part of the D-Link Downtown Neighborhood Council. We should make our voice strong there. You know, we need to unify all of these elements so Skid Row can be ruled from the inside instead of the outside.
Say this is what's wrong, that's what's wrong, this is bad. Well, what about what's good? And that's my whole thing. I see a lot of good in this community. I see a lot of potential for greatness. Not only just the places, but the people. There's a lot of intelligent, there's a lot of beautiful, there's a lot of important people that are down here and their voices are not being heard. So I took it upon myself to call the organization Issues and Solutions, because we're a solutions-based organization.
Well, I know the 12-Step Fellowship that I am a member of, Cocaine Anonymous, because it was crack that brought me to my knees. We often hear my predecessors, the dinosaurs of CA, talk about uncover, discover, and discard, right? And so recovery is a process. What I totally agree with him on is that there are so many things that the people in my community, because I not only work in Skid Row, I not only got sober in Skid Row, I live in Skid Row. I love Skid Row because Skid Row saved my life. And I'm a New Yorker, so Skid Row is like the New York part of L.A. It's got that urban beaten vibe.
Dwayne.
I think Skid Row has become an entity of itself. It became that way due to, first of all, the prominent drug use that used to be there. As that area was slowly being shrunk down, people started to hear more about what was going on in Skid Row due to media coverage with the police and all this other stuff. And the image that it had at one point was like a mecca for just drugs. And then to watch the city come and clean that up when everybody thought that that couldn't be done, when they closed down Town Street. That was one of the major moves that the city had made to get a better image about Skid Row. But now Skid Row is more about money, property. It's about getting people housed. It's about government funding that is out there to try to erase the last vestiges of what Skid Row stigma has always been for downtown. So there's a lot of opportunities that are opening up right now to get people out of Skid Row, to get them into housing, to get them into things like health care and off the streets and stuff like that. But then there's an industry down in Skid Row where people who were hired to be counselors, to be helpers, to be administrators of different programs for all the funding that was coming through Skid Row. And that's a whole industry in itself. And it's
a bureaucracy.
Right, it's a bureaucracy that does not want to leave.
Yeah.
And so we battle with that now in trying to get these bureaucracies to break down and to finally allow Skid Row to blossom into something it was always meant to be, which is a community of people.
And you know, it's amazing you say that, because I call that the homeless industrial complex.
Yes.
Which is similar to the prison industrial complex.
Yes.
And the military industrial complex. And I think the solution is similar. It's something that Dwight D. Eisenhower said when he was leaving the presidency. And he mentioned about the military becoming the military industrial complex and how it would become a bureaucracy with a life of its own unless you figure out a way to transition into something else, you know, in relationship to the problems that you're trying to deal with. And I think the same solution is going to come in relationship to the prison industrial complex and the homeless industrial complex in terms of how to transition these bureaucracies who have become a life of their own.
Well, if you look at the three largest treatment programs that we have in downtown LA, we have the 9th floor, the Wine Guard. We have the LA Mission, the Union Rescue Mission, and the Midnight Mission. These people have at least in the LA, Union, and Midnight, there's 250 to more clients, all going through recovery, all going to meetings, all learning about the disease concept, all learning about recovery, all learning about education, housing. So if you're looking at within a 90-day to a year to a quarterly, if you take a quarterly 90 days, you have 4 groups of 200 plus people coming out of these programs with a whole new life. They're clean, they're sober, they got a year, they have housing provided for them, they have jobs provided for them, but everything else around them in Skid Row is staying the same. Around every last one of these organizations, they're selling massive amounts of drugs right on the property in all 3 of these places. So these people, they go into these places and they get this glimmer of what life could be like, but then they're told when they're done, this is the life you get.
Okay, that's interesting. Kevin, Mike, you want to say
something? What I like to say is, number one, there's a big difference between treatment and recovery, all right? And treatment takes place inside those institutions that the brother just described. Recovery happens out in those mean streets where you have to live life on life's terms.
I'm gonna ask you about this. What is the status of the Black church in its relationship to solving the homeless problem? And the church is involved.
Yeah, the Black church has really dropped the ball all over. And see, when I talk about when we say the Black church, I'm not just talking about Christianity. You know, when we're talking about all 3 of these major religions. You know, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. You know, and what they have allowed to happen is that they have allowed the commercial interest, especially here in Los Angeles, to be at the forefront of making all of the decisions about the funds for the homeless situation, and then they just ride behind. Remember, we were doing an interview with Reverend Cecil Murray. Right. I think he passed last year, long-time minister here in LA. And I asked him that question.
All right.
Yes, we have 3 million homeless people in our nation, the richest, most powerful nation in the history of the world. 500,000 of these women and children. We have the resources to do something about it. But what happens is we need the faith-based community to work to make certain that the resources are put in place. All you need is a homeless commission in your church, no matter how large or small, a homeless commission. Then we come to Skid Row. We used to come once a month and bring a couple of 100 people, food, clothing, so forth, help to find jobs, going to corporations and asking if they would give so many entry-level jobs for the homeless, maybe 1% or half of 1% or something like that. If we really begin to care, we have the resources.
And he is probably the only person that gave me a sensible answer about approach to solving the homeless problem. He said that all of these religious institutions, whether they Christian, Judaism, Islam, or whatever, should have a homeless component, no matter how small or how large they is.
Please check out my 2 new books up on Amazon. The Charles Kipling National Theater Company is how to put together a national Black history theater company situated in 24 areas of the United States of America with a center point in the Mississippi Delta. And the other book is The Meme Factor, which discussed the secret identity of the descendants of the chattel slaves of America.
Yeah. 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 Johnson. Born in the Delta where the soil stay rich. Greenville tales, now we flipping the script. From the chorus to the stage, real legends don't quit. Revolutionary soul, every line's legit. He's a human encyclopedia with intent to solve problems. Skid Row and military roots, yet he's still humble. Salute to Melvin Ishmael Johnson. Raised in the South, 47 he came. Coleman High grad, built his name through pain. Marine Corps March in 69, no shame. Served with honor, then the world knew his flame. Eastern mixed studies, then he sparked a plan. 73 Epsi Renaissance began. Wrote with Daryl, Josh, and Robert too. Black stage blazing with a rebel crew. From 17th Reed to the 80 wave. Tater ran deep like a soldier's grave. Now drama stage comer and he